Music is like root work. Magic that's pulled up from the soil. It echoes on the stony hills and spins in the tall grass by the sea. It soothes the savage beast and pierces the soul of a man. Music is that old witchcraft. It writes your true name on a scrap of paper and makes you dance undignified like King David. This is the Hoodoo Music Podcast.
This is the Hoodoo Music Podcast, episode 14, and the guest on this episode is Wasted Wine. What's up?
What's up?
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on the show. Hey, so how would you, just to start things off, how would you describe your sound?
Blues Americana.
Boo.
Oh, that's totally accurate.
No, I think Adam came up with the description that suits us best. I can't remember it, but Adam will.
What is
It's
it,
on a
Adam?
poster.
What is it, Robert?
It's a Southern fried gypsy prog rock Americana blues.
That's not correct. It's almost correct. That's very
Sometimes
close.
when I've been held at gunpoint in an elevator, I'll be like, gypsy punk, Euro folk rock. And then they'll let me go.
I just tell people gypsy rock.
As a follow-up, how often are you held up at gunpoint, Jaron? In an elevator. In an elevator specifically.
Well, you know, it's quite a question. What kind of music do you play? And everyone's like, well, it's kind of a mix of all of the things.
No, that's fair.
But
That's fair.
sometimes people are like, I have to write it down. What is it? And so I come up with
I mean, in
something.
our line of work, you find yourself in a lot of elevators with a lot of people.
A lot of guns.
And not all of them have good intentions.
Why don't we go around and everybody introduce themselves?
Who starts?
Let's start with
You're-
Robert.
Who's at the top?
Oh, I'm
We're going
starting.
down.
The most
Well,
important to the least important.
Well, that I should go.
Yeah,
You're
go ahead,
first.
Buck
I should
Dollars.
go.
Just
first?
go ahead, Buck Dollars.
All right. So this is Buck Samuel Dollars, and I am the guitar player and the bus driver, one of the bus drivers, and that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, I talk people into risky ventures and unreasonable things.
Yes,
It's
you
my
do.
mission in life.
That's really true.
I am Jaron Ferrer, the drummer and part-time bus driver.
He's a good bus driver.
I'm a really good bus driver.
is.
Things fall off the shelves less when I'm at the wheel.
Okay. I'm Adam. I'm the power behind the throne.
Yeah.
I'm Robert. They call me Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah. And I'm Lou Buckingham. I've got the distinctive position of being the only female in the band.
Bass player.
Hey, sometimes, sometimes I wear panties too.
Yeah.
You know, we got some. We had a fun time recording a couple of songs.
It was fun.
This first song, why don't you tell us what's it called?
The Moth.
Is there kind of a story behind it, anything like that? It seems kind of like you're telling stories more than sharing your own stories.
Yeah, well, The Moth was kind of an interesting song because we recorded it basically based off like improv lyrics. So,
Okay.
there's like this loose theme of a moth that we kept tossing around, but like the rest of it is just made up on the spot.
Yeah, Robert and I went through a phase where we would call each other, and when we went to voicemail, we would freestyle rap the voicemail message. So we got really into just coming up with lyrics spontaneously, and I think that was written around that time.
Yeah, like Adam came to visit, and we were like, okay, well, we like recorded all the music, and then we just like went into the booth and just like made up lyrics like on the spot, just like singing along with the song or whatever. And then we like took a pen and paper and like carved out all the best lyrics and then like made the song out of it. So I wouldn't really say that there was like
Although
a really
actually, I mean that's
cohesive story about
that song's fairly old, and we let it lay dormant for a while. And I have to say, I actually am pretty happy with the lyrics in retrospect. Like I see a story in them now, but it just kind of happened.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Go ahead and tell you that's the story behind every single song.
Yeah, everything we do is an accident.
Only the good stuff.
So here we are again, gathering for holiday. So here's to your good health, my dearest and sweetest, most trusted friends.
The moth flew past your head, and you upset the table. You looked at me and said, away, 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 you cheap and dusty thing. Something happened here. You should have never moved your mouth. After all we've been through, you said,
Just keep it to yourself. So here we are again, singing hymns in harmony. The Lord forgives your sins, perhaps for you even a second time.
the moth flew in the door and landed on the organ. Under your breath you swore, no more, no more, no more of this extravagance. Something happened here. You should have never moved your. After all we've been through, you said.
So here we are again, celebrate your memory. You were a decent friend, at least that's how I'd like to remember you.
The moth, it shed its wings and crawled into the casket. The preacher turned to say, today, today, I tell you, you have been redeemed. Something happened to you. You should have never moved your mouth. After all we've been through, you say.
Just keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself.
Hoodoo music is brought to you by Wasted Wine.
Rocky Creek Baptist Church.
What's in your wallet? Can we have some, please?
That's good.
All right.
So how did the band start? And
Oh, boy.
how did it come to its current incarnation, you know?
I need a chair.
Yeah, right.
Gonna sit down and you know, what's
30
the truncated
minutes.
version, you know? The
2-minute version.
the 2-minute version.
The truncated version is Robert and I used to play as an acoustic duo, and we'd have we'd go to like a coffee shop and bring like 12 to 15 instruments.
That's great.
And we'd have them all on stage around us, and we'd spend like 10 minutes between every song completely switching instruments.
And tuning them.
And tuning, yeah.
And then it was just
sometimes.
too ridiculous, so I left, and then Robert replaced me with 4 other people.
Yeah.
And then since it
And
seemed
we've
like
still
it was
never
it was a
been the
lot, it was
same.
way more under control, I decided to come back.
Hey, that's pretty accurate.
Sort of. Well, there is a little more, though, right?
All the murder.
I mean, then we like had a few drummers and hired Jaron.
True.
But,
True.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. That is the 2-minute version.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's
Boring
progressed.
version.
You know, in the past couple of years, I noticed that you've been touring a lot more. You guys were a featured band at Dragon Con, right?
yeah. I don't know
Or
how,
a house band, or what
but
was it?
yeah, we were the house band at Dragon Con.
That's kind of cool, man.
A house band.
Well, you know,
I
no.
agree.
Told us we were
Cut
no,
that, cut
no,
that, actually.
No, we were
Oh,
the
sorry.
house band. We
I
were the
they
only
just say
band
that to
at Dragon
everybody,
Con,
though,
let
I
me tell
think.
you. There was no other bands there. There was nobody else there with a drummer, or
That's actually true. We
Or
were
any
like,
other kind of rhythm.
We had the most equipment of everybody. Like, we had more equipment than all the other bands combined.
No, I mean the other bands were great, but like we were the only band. Like seriously, like you know, there were some duos, there was a few solo
A
acts,
lot of electronic music.
but
I'm
we
sure.
were the only band there, which was cool.
That's
you know?
not true. The Mummy Band.
Oh,
Gotcha.
the Mummy
Here
Band
come
doesn't
the
count,
mummies.
dude. That's like Flea and his buddies, you know. You know, that
Flea's
doesn't
in
count.
there? I've been
There
trying to
was
figure
Tuatha
that out.
Yeah. No, that doesn't count either. Not on the main stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like we were
What about
the
Conker's
only.
Dead?
No, that doesn't count.
All
They
those
didn't-
other
they didn't
bands,
have
they
a
don't
drummer.
count.
No, you guys are. Why are you guys trying to trip me up?
They were
We're
all very good
podcasting.
bands, by the way. And very
No,
nice
but I mean,
people.
like it was cool, and I mean, I don't really.
I don't know. You're spouting
Yeah.
nothing but non-truths. So maybe someone else should remember Dragon
Hey,
Con.
you know, I know. I mean, we were the only house band.
I don't even
Wait,
know what that
what
means.
was the
That's
question?
fake news.
Oh,
Not
I was just
famous.
so you've kind of you've had a lot of like forward motion, forward momentum. It seems in the past year or so.
It's one opinion.
Yeah, well, right. That's one opinion. It all depends. I mean,
To the outsider's perspective,
yeah.
it
It's
seems
hard
that
for it
way.
to feel like that when we just mostly spend our time arguing with each other, as you can tell.
I mean, I guess if you really look at it from the perspective of what we've done or what people have said we've done or whatever, it does seem like we're getting a little bit of somewhere, but it's kind of hard to feel that way internally. Am I saying that right? Is that true?
I don't
Sounds
know.
like you're
I
getting
like
into
to,
some
I
deep
like to stay
stuff.
positive. You
Oh, I'm
guys-
saying positive. Yeah. Don't put that last comment on the thing. You can cut that. Because we're a very positive
Actually,
band.
turn his mic off.
just turn them all off.
We
You wouldn't be the
stay
first.
active, and more people like us more and more.
Hey, we just
Yeah.
we
Thank you,
just
Jaron.
we just
See?
do what we do. We try what we try, and you know we're hoping we're getting somewhere. I mean, like there's a lot of room for negativity, but like, but like who cares? You know, we just keep going. We just keep going. We just keep doing. You know, I mean, it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Like what's really happening is like we just try to do what we're doing. You know, I mean, I'm in it. You know, forever. So you know,
Yeah.
like, we just keep doing what we do. You know, I don't really know if we're getting somewhere or not. I just keep trying to push it further and make it better. You know, and everybody's on the same page as far as that's concerned.
Because we love doing it. I mean, we can't not do it, is maybe the way I would describe it.
Cool. So
That's a
Dragon
good
Con.
way of putting it. Actually, that's really good.
Even if it's bad for us.
yeah. On some level, I feel like
Like
I'm
addicts.
I'm like, you know, ruining lives. You know, but like, you know, like
Whose
everybody can
lives?
follow me into the fucking ditch. It'd be great.
Is that what we're doing?
So this next song, talk about that. I made sure I waited until you started drinking your beer to, address it.
Which next song?
Oh, the next
What
song.
was
When
What was the next song? Rolling and Smoking?
No, it
No.
was Make the
Oh,
World Go Away.
Make the World Go Away.
Mm.
Oh, well, I'll let Adam talk about that one.
I don't know. It's like a song about.
Adam wrote the song, by the way, and Robert made some input, I think, but
It's,
I don't recall exactly how that all went down.
It's a song like many of my songs that explores the ambiguity of its own lyrics. So-
Oh, very
true.
meta.
That's one of
Let's start with Make the World Go Away.
that was one of the first conversations I had with Adam. I was like, when I write lyrics, sometimes they don't really make sense, but I keep them anyway. And he just looked at me like, and that's unusual.
Sorry for sneezing on your comment.
It's all right.
I mean, I think that Make the World Go Away. I mean, I don't care really what Adam says about it, but I feel like personally it's like a fucking anthem for like the world today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody's like hiding in their own little ostrich hole, like trying to pretend like they're cool. You know, like everything is gonna be fine and normalizing what's going on and it's easy to just like kind of hide yourself. I mean, a lot of people are just like hiding out, just hoping that things will go away. And I don't know. I feel like that resonates in some way or another. You know, the rest of the song it is what it is. It's like vignettes about on a theme, but like the chorus at least is like I feel like it's probably one of our most like resonating hooks.
Yeah, and I do feel like there are two sides of it. Like, in one sense, it is like what a lot of people are doing, and it's that otherworldly place of denial that people go to. But on the other hand, it's like in a sense, like the concrete program people should be following. I mean, like, the world is what you make it, so you can make this like with. Collectively, people can make this world go away and usher in a new world, and like that's the problematic, or that's the situation. Do you do the one kind of make the world go away of like escapism, or do you do the other kind of actively really making a world?
Yeah,
unmaking one
the
world.
People
and
are the
another
prophets
one.
now.
Fair enough.
Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away. Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away. Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away. Make the world go away, make the world go away. Yeah, I'm back in business trying to make the world go away. Nobody ever has an answer. A line was crossed. Now you're cowered in the kitchen and he's crying. Blood on the lens, and the world collapsed like sycophantic smiles. Oh, the camera never lied. What happened? Everybody asks about it. What happened? Everybody asks about it. What happened? Didn't you see anything at all? Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away. Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just trying to make the world go away, make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away, make the world go away, make the world go away. Yeah, I'm back in business trying to make the world go away. Nobody ever has an answer. She burned your clothes, but you knew that she was crazy when you kissed. A rush of wind, and the old man scowls at something you can't see. Oh, it's all the same to me. What happened? Everybody asks about it. What happened? Everybody asks about it. What happened? Didn't you see anything at all? Make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away, make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away, make the world go away, make the world go away. I'm just sitting up here trying to make the world go away, make the world go away, make the world go away. Yeah, I'm back in business trying to make the world go away.
Now, Robert and Adam are both. You're both like multi-instrumentalists. You know, switching between like the harmonium and the
Ding dings.
bouzouki, and you know, playing the fiddle over here and the Celesta, and just so many different instruments. Are all of you multi-instrumentalists, or?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Just do one thing.
I'm the
thing
weak
well.
link. I'm the weak link in
Jared's
the
totally a
band.
multi-instrumental.
I do agree. They are very distracting to watch.
I was a flautist for many years.
I play the high tom and the low tom. I dab a little bit on the hi-hats. And I'm still working on my crash, but they say practice makes perfect.
Hey, we found some really good musicians to play the instruments that they're best at.
We don't.
What does that even mean?
Anybody who plays multiple instruments, you have one that you're best at. But
Yeah.
how did I guess we can go around. How did everybody get started in music? You know, what was where did it start for you?
Oh yeah, you guys go ahead on that.
30-second versions, jeez.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
I was a teenage folk singer.
Okay. Okay.
Is that your memoir?
Yeah. Yeah, I was 16 and went out and played clubs in Pittsburgh and Boston and played guitar and sang folk songs.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
And then
the
you were in
dream.
California, and you were
Yeah.
a bass player in
Yeah,
rock
then
and roll
I started
bands,
playing
and
bass.
invented grunge. At least
And
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
and
No,
I invented
Lou
grunge.
literally invented grunge. Like if you Google it, if you Google it,
dude. Google it.
like her band was the band that invented
The
grunge.
Carbon
Talking about
Yard,
like
what it
80,
was called.
83
Yeah.
or something.
They never
93.
bathed.
They never bathed, right?
Not even kidding.
Yeah.
And then Bach was in a band that like invented punk.
Well, we didn't actually invent.
No,
punk,
they I think they were. I read something that said they were like the first band to bring like prog rock influences into punk or something
Seriously?
like that. That like
Yeah.
I'd like
bridged
to
the
read
gap
that.
between like Pink Floyd and
What,
and
Buck's
these-
band?
Yeah,
The Beef
punk.
People?
Wow, the
Beef
beef people.
people.
Wow, that's
I never
crazy.
knew that.
Talk
Google
about
I
it.
was in Virginia. Well, there's
about
not
it.
that much to tell. I mean,
Just
we
say
it
that
was,
you
it
just-
was
You
the
elaborated upon
You were in the
punk.
band. What was the band's name?
First, oh, it was the beef people.
Okay, the end.
Yeah.
The end. Thank
You
you.
were
But,
the
but there was
band.
actually, I mean, there was more to it than that. The question was really, how did we start playing?
Well, how did,
yeah.
how did you get into like what was the first thing that got you into music, I guess, or where did it start for you?
Casey Kasem's top 40 countdown. Seriously, this is true. And the day when Pink Floyd went to #1, and I woke up and I was like, whoa. And I threw away my Donna Summer record. I didn't throw it away, but I put it in the closet, so it's kind of the same thing. And I bought a guitar, and my parents would not let me play it because my grades were bad. And so that sealed the deal, and I never quit. I've been playing the rest of my life.
invented.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was a bumpy ride, but yeah, here I am. So that's how I got started.
Yikes. I think my brother played drums, and I thought that was cool. And that's about the end.
Surely there's more, Jan.
No,
No.
it can be that easy.
Can it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could probably find cooler stuff to talk about,
Jealous.
but yeah. You know what, though?
Aha.
I was rocking out in middle school,
Yeah.
and then I was like, look, I've gone as far as I can. And so then I had lessons. Shout out to Palmetto Drum Company.
Sure.
That's where I took. And then my teacher stopped hanging out there. And then I did some jazz. And then I was like, now I am ready.
And then you did some acid, and then you were ready.
I did not do any acid.
Acid
ever.
jazz, perhaps.
Yeah.
For me, my dad had this program on his computer where you could put notes on a staff, and it would play it back to you.
Man, that's
so-
what I should have talked
And
about.
so when I was a kid, I would just like write music on that and record it to cassette tapes, and then draw album art for it, and I just like make a album every month, and that's how I got into music. And then I started
Wow.
playing in Pentecostal churches, and that got me into like playing because when I was just like writing the music, I was just like dragging notes at random. So it was like those kind of two things.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Wow, that's
Some of those Pentecostal church bands, that'll hone your chops a little bit, you know. Some of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was some advanced stuff. It's a great American musical tradition that I'm very happy to be a part of or to be involved with.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
I had this whole time.
no, I've been thinking about it. Like, I just remember I always wanted to play an instrument, and I knew I did. You know, because like I took piano lessons when I was like 5, and then I had to quit for whatever reason. But then when it was middle school time, it was like I knew it was time to like pick an instrument. You know, for middle school times. You know, like it's time to like play an instrument in school. And so I was like really keeping my eye out. You know, I was like expecting, like they always come and they like everybody plays like instruments, and then you like choose what you want. And so I was like ready for that. You know, I was like, yes, I'm gonna choose the right thing. And I just remember the most beautiful girl stood up and played Pink Panther. And I had to play the violin. that was the end for me. And yeah, that was it for me. You know, I mean, I feel like I missed my calling. Actually, I mean, I feel like I should have been a pianist, because like I started piano playing at 5, and then I had to quit. But when it was like time to get back into it, I was like ready. You know, I was like waiting with like bated breath for like these motherfuckers to come around and like like scoop me up, and like I was just like, I don't know, and like the Pink Panther was like the coolest song I'd ever heard.
It's a great song. It's our favorite song to cover.
It's like still a good song, you know. I can still hear the Pink Panther be like,
Henry Mancini, right?
Yeah, Mancini. Dude,
I can
Mancini
hear that
wrote
right now
so
and
many
be
good
like,
things.
is the song not dope? And, like I knew that I had to play the violin because of the Pink Panther.
Well, you know that's an easy way to kind of segue because I want to, you know, Henry Mancini aside, what are kind of like the influences for Wasted Wine? What are some of the things that influence not only the way you like what you're playing, but what you're writing? Is there anything collectively that you find influential as well as individually?
3-6 Mafia, which is true. That's
I mean, 3-6 Mafia is like, I mean, it's a big influence.
it's a big like conceptual. And
It's
lyrical.
a conceptual and lyrical influence.
Naturally,
I would say, like, on a more practical sense, like Kurt Weill is like a huge influence. Yeah. Like not the indie musician, but like the classical musician. And you know, besides like those two things, I would say everything else is just kind of like a stretch to like put into a box. But like, I mean, I feel like really inspired by Kurt Weill, like the classical musician. I feel like really inspired by 3-6 Mafia. Adam probably has like some other inspirations.
Yeah, I mean mainly like Can and Magma.
Yeah.
Were like the two bands that did it for me back in the day. I was into that whole continental prog rock and the 70s German experimental music. That kind of stuff was my jam.
And I'm like into like German like lyrical expression, you know. So I mean like it's kind of like, I mean I feel like Wasted Wine for the most part has been like some kind of like experiment and like trying to write like opera and then also like new age like prog rock.
I don't know whether I don't know whether I'm supposed to figure out if you're like bullshitting me or like
they're
or
not.
Just, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
This is like it's interesting. Just like I can totally see this kind of stuff, but at the same time, I'm like I feel like you're jerking my chain over here.
No. I mean, like for the most part, like I just feel like I've always felt like I just like whatever I'm writing is like whatever I want to hear. You know, like it's like what I would imagine.
I get that a lot actually.
Would be like the best like you know conglomeration of like what I love, and like whatever that is at the time is whatever it is, and like it's always changing. Like I can't really say that there's like a specific like influence because like you know like one day I'm like really into like something just completely stupid, you know, like I'm into like fucking disco for no reason, you know, and then the next day I'm like really into, you know, just like something else is like equally dumb.
Yeah, I need an example.
You know, like I heard a Michael Bolton song that's great. You know? And I'm like seriously like a lover of music, and like I really can't like even tell you like a thing that I've heard that I don't love. So like everything I hear, I'm like, there's merit in this.
Talked about those new
like
Radiohead albums.
This is good, you know. And like it just doesn't matter what I hear. Like everything I hear, I'm like, I have like a appreciative ear about it. I mean, it's always critical, but it's always also appreciative. So like I'm always like, kind of, I don't know. I just always feel like whatever I'm doing is just like the amalgamation of like whatever I found that's awesome, and that I want to like pull into like what I do. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I like feel like Robert and I are. I mean, we have like this certain like stable of like I guess where we come from and like these core influences, but like starting from there, we just kind of hoover up everything else like to the point where you know like I'm listening to like power electronics with with Robert, and we're listening to it, and we're like, well, like we could use like a little bit of that, like in between like two songs on the record, like there, I mean, just sheer like harsh noise, like music, and like even that, like we listen to, and we're like, well, we have this song and this song, we could like link it together with something like that. We're just always trying to figure out how to put like whatever random stuff we're listening to like in it into our music, but in some way that like kind of makes sense.
You're saying Power Tools. That's your influence.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just saying, I went through like this like harsh noise, power electronics phase for like recently. That was like one of my latest things.
Yeah.
and I got ideas.
I heard some of it.
I got ideas for Wasted Wine music, like listening to that. I mean, it's not something like I try to like replicate in a very direct way, but you listen to enough of, I don't know, like Merzbow.
I started making noise on songs because of it,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were
like
listening
Fall
to
Upon Me, like I do like completely differently now.
That's true.
Because of Adam listening to noise, it's just like,
yeah, it's true.
I just like started doing it differently because it wasn't even like, I'm not even into that shit, like fucking, I make fun of him all the time for listening to noise music. It's just bullshit. But like, I'm over here making like a noise solo.
Yeah.
Like making fun of him at the same time.
Yeah, like that's the way it works half the time. Like I play Robert like a Merzbow record, and he's like, this is you've gone too far. You're completely ridiculous. And then he like starts making noise with like his pedals on the violin to like make fun of me and like just get my goat. But then it like actually becomes like part of the song because we like shape it enough.
That's a very strange point. Like, a double-digit percentage of a Wasted Wine show is spent just making noise.
Yeah.
Like, if the guy in the elevator gave me a little more time, I might mention that.
Well, yeah.
Well, the guy in the elevator wants to know, what's this next song?
Rolling and Smoking.
Rolling and Smoking.
Hey, Rolling and Smoking is
It's a song about friendship.
I don't even remember how the song was written, honestly.
I remember it was a voice memo on your phone that we found.
But
Seems like the title has a lot to do with how it was written.
Well, it's specifically about like your like the paranoia that you have around having like a shitty friend who you decide that you really can't hang out with anymore because they're bad for you, but like you still have like social obligations to hang out with them. So like you're just like, hey man, I'll hang out with you and like we'll smoke up, but like that's all we can do. But like we can't really be more than that, and then like but like your friend is not like having it, so he's like out to get you, and so it's also a song about paranoia because like every verse is like increasingly more like about how like this friend is like out to get you, and so it's like it's a cool song. I feel like it's a cool song. It just kind of like it's kind of like one of my more personal attempts to like explain like a personal relationship that I had where like where like you have like a friend who you're kind of trying to distance yourself from, and then you're like afraid that like by doing that they're gonna like be upset with you or whatever, but like but it's like more hyperly like I don't know, it's just like more hyperly awesome than that because like it's like every verse kind of like explains like more and more like how they're just like out to get you, and like it's just like the paranoia, and like for a lot of people like smoking weed is like causes paranoia, so it's like it's kind of like funny on both of those ways, like where you're just like, well you're cool and I'm like friends with you, but like really I'm just gonna smoke up with you, which is like totally a thing for most people, and then on top of that you're like like you're like really paranoid that person's like out to get you, and like I just think the whole thing's just like really like really funny. I don't know. To me, it's like a comedy piece, you know. But like, but it's like really hard to like explain that way because it's like vague, you know. But I don't know.
They said he was coming from somewhere in the east.
They said he was coming from somewhere in the east.
I told him I knew him and we knew the Prince of Peace.
I told them we knew him and we knew the Prince of Peace.
But every single line seemed to twinkle in the eye. I'm saying talk is cheap, but I can turn the other cheek. And so now rolling and smoking is all I do with you.
Yeah, rolling and smoking is all I do with you.
They said he was coming from somewhere up west.
They said he was coming from somewhere way out west.
I told him I knew him and we knew it what was best.
I told them I knew him and we knew it's what was best.
But every single line seemed to twinkle in the eye. I'm saying talk is cheap, but I can turn the other cheek. And so now rolling and smoking is all I do with you.
Yeah, rolling and smoking is all I do with
They said he was headed to even up the score.
They said he was headed to even up the score.
I told him the truth, I swear, but never anymore.
I told them the truth, I swear, but never anymore.
But every tainted truth seemed a little more to you. I'm yelling to the police, but just don't play that shit on me. I said I'm rolling is all I do with you.
Yeah, rolling and smoking is all I do with you.
And every time I take a hit, I need another one. I need another one. Thought I need another one. And every time I take a hit, I need another one. I need another one. Thought I need another one. Somewhere to the north.
They said he is headed up somewhere to the north.
I still hate and miss him, man. You know that back and forth.
I still hate and miss him, man. You know that back and forth.
new radio station everybody's tuned into, WII-FM. What's in it for me? I got that from a church planting book. I was reading for my research.
It's starting to sound like what time it is.
Yeah.
Well, so actually, that's kind of funny that you'd bring that up. What's in it for you? What do you get out of it? You know,
Let's get
out of being in a band.
You
what do
first,
get out of it?
I want to know this. I've been wondering this for Jan for a long time.
Still trying to figure that out. Well, when I saw when I heard on the grapevine that Wasted Wine needed a drummer, I was like, I think I'm supposed to be in Wasted Wine.
Yeah.
Or maybe I thought, I guess I might as well do that. Adam, quit doing that. I'm telling my story.
Little fidget cube thing.
So I was like, that sounds like that were when they were doing stuff that would have their name be somewhere when I was like in high school. So I kind of thought they were semi-famous. Boy, have I learned otherwise.
Or semi-something.
Hey, when you joined us, we'd already been on NPR, so.
I got NPR after I joined. That was the impetus.
Yeah,
They were like, he did what? Publish that tomorrow. So what's in it for me is a band whose email gets answered more often. I like sending an email to somebody saying, can we play something? Or can we play your place? And then they're like, well, let's check you out. And okay, it looks like y'all didn't just start in your mom's garage last weekend, and now you're sending an email. Looks pretty good. Let's have them. So
It's not the camaraderie or the
no
kinship.
Nope. It's a slight sense of fulfillment, and hope that one day that money train's gonna come through. You know, it is quite rare to find several
But
people.
you also love us,
listen,
right?
Yeah, and the band is
Okay.
like, it's really cool. It's really great to go on tour with like people you. But there is something to be said for being in a band that tends to be all right, hanging out on a bus for 5 days. Yeah, that's pretty. And then like digging how each of them does stuff. Like Lou is my rock, and so I can do stuff on the drums, and I know that she's going to be holding it down over there. And then I know Buck is going to take some kind of crazy squealing solo, like so humbly. He's like behind everything, just playing like upbeats. And then it gets to the time where it's his solo, and people are like, I didn't know that guy was back there. And he's just like, it is so great. And then he goes back there and goes back to his upbeats. And then Robert and Adam do their thing. I can't even unpack what they do. So there is something very fulfilling or interesting about being... is that not just the quest of every musician, to find a band that you don't hate, where someone isn't just like a psycho or has a drug problem or a girlfriend problem or just self problems? So for me, what's in it for me is a band that has a decent place where they're at and has some further potential and isn't a total nightmare to be a part of. Thank you. I'm Jaron Ferrer.
That's nice. Yeah.
Anybody else, or
Who else?
Money.
I'd say, what's in it for me is, I think Wasted Wine is a great band. I'm a fan. That sounds ridiculous, but I am a fan. I think the songwriting is really strong. I think it's really good. And
how do you feel?
What's that?
But how do you feel about it?
Well, feel good.
So you're just saying you like to get into shows for free? Because you want to follow them on the road.
Well, and the
best
drink.
way
I
to
like
do
the
that.
free drinks too. Don't forget that part. But no, I think Wasted Wine's a band that needs to be heard more. That deserves to be heard more. I think that there's a lot of talent, and I think that there's some. For me, it's just very rewarding to be part of the whole thing. I'm glad to drive the bus. I'm glad to move the equipment.
Glad to get whipped with the lashes.
Do what I have to do to
I'm
help
glad
out.
to get yelled at. If only we could get on a podcast.
But that's I guess what's in it for me is the satisfaction of seeing something I believe in get somewhere.
I'm just like in it too deep, so I just got to keep going.
That's what happens.
At this point, there's no turning back.
That's like a rap lyric. I don't know. It's like
Yeah, that's what he's saying while it's just the hi-hat, like
Yeah.
ramping things up.
I've been doing it too long. It's just too deep. Got to keep going. No turning back now. Yeah.
And then the hook comes in.
the game never gets less crazy.
Game never gets less crazy. Looking hazy.
What's next? What's the plan? Continue. Obviously, you want to continue to move forward. You're in too deep. You got to keep going. You got to get away before they catch you or something. I don't know.
It's like
Yeah,
temple
no,
running.
it's true.
It's like playing a game on your
Yeah,
cell phone.
I mean,
You
I
can't
put
stop.
too much money in at this point.
And if
we
you
gotta
look
keep
back,
going.
there's like that horrible little creature.
Right?
Never
We should
look
write a
back.
song about it.
Never look
but
back.
in seriousness, though, what is next? Like, what's the goal?
I don't
What's your next goal?
Our next goal is to finish our album, and then release it and become worldwide famous. That's it.
WF.
It'll be
Play on
finished
SNL.
in 6 weeks, maybe
Yeah,
7 weeks.
we're gonna
Something like that.
release our next record, and we're gonna play Saturday nights on SNL. That's it.
Well, we got to make some videos first.
Hey, I don't even care about the videos. We're gonna play on SNL.
Now, the videos are probably going to end up being the most fun part because we're on the grind.
I mean, I care about
on
the
the
videos.
recording.
I'm just saying that that's the goal.
Play Saturday night on Saturday Night Live?
We're gonna play Saturday nights on Saturday Night Live. That's it. That's the goal.
That's the next song,
It
right?
really is a hit
Well,
song.
yeah, it's gonna be on the next record.
But that's the next song.
That
for
is
the,
also the
session.
next song. Yeah.
Good.
I think the
Segue.
song's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it is, and it'll be great on Saturday Night Live.
I never even thought about that connection before. Glad you didn't name it Friday Nights.
Yeah.
She had a friend who had connections Saturday nights, and I didn't care. I met her in some druggy basement. She took the cash, so I took the stairs.
And now we're riding in a late model Taurus, backwoods roads at some late AM. She says, shit, you look kinda nervous. I said, nah, that's just how I am. But now I'm thinking, how should I work this? Plus the curves are coming too fast. So I asked, you got something tomorrow? She says, there won't be no tomorrow if this week's like the last.
Saturday nights, we go out drinking before we're done. The ceiling's spent when we get home. All right, been much of a hero. I just leave people to themselves. So I don't know if she was joking, fucking with me, or fucking with herself.
But once we pull up to the house that she stays in, I just feel like something is wrong. On the porch there's boxes and metal, 3 junk cars are parked on the lawn. Past the hall and people are standing, I act like I'm being polite. So I ask, how's the night here been going? They say, how's the night here been going? It's a special night.
Saturday nights, we go out drinking. Before we're done, the ceiling spins. When we get home, our hands are bleeding. So we go to church and get healed again. We get healed again. Are the prophets now. The people 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 are the prophets Saturday nights, we go out drinking. Before we're done, the ceiling spins. When we get home, our hands are bleeding. So we go to church and get healed again. We get healed again.
Guys, I want to thank you so much for letting me come out to the house and record you and hang out with you. I had a great time. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
We've had a
man.
great time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you? What's the best way for people to connect with you online and etc.?
Hey, man, Facebook's a good place, you know.
That's where the world is connecting.
we
you
got
like it or not.
We'll give you.
we got a good
sticker.
Facebook presence. You know, we got a good Instagram. We have a website. It's all just Wasted Wine. You just look just type in Wasted Wine, you'll find us.
Socialmedia.com/wastedwine.
Yeah, basically.
That's fair.
Yeah. And we keep up to date. We post a lot of stuff. We're constantly posting something or another.
There's a lot of strange, aggressively insider joke type content available for Ultra fans.
Yeah, totally.
We got a video that's about to drop.
Yeah, we got a video that's about to drop that's got some really hot beats on it.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of music on it, but it's a good video.
Hey, no, there's a whole hip hop track coming out.
Oh yeah, that's more.
Make sure we put that front and center for people trying to check out
Yeah,
it for any
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It makes a lot of sense for Wasted Wine.
You guys have any shows coming up locally or within a reasonable drive of local?
We're playing on the 29th, right?
Wednesday, March 29th at IPA, Independent Public Ale House, with a fantastic band called Bella's Bar Talk, which it's going to be just two unbelievably good of a pairing. Glad I had a little bit there.
Really sell it.
Yeah, their description basically just sounds like us.
Yeah, it's gonna be if our description sounds good to you.
It was
listener.
like you look up Bella's Bar Talk and their description is like sounds a lot like Wasted Wine.
We could do some cool stuff with them, but that's gonna be cool, and it's sort of. It's a weeknight. What can you do? Yeah. You can have a lot. Of
You
fun.
can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You can have a great party.
Well, this show is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and every other place where you can find podcasts. You can connect with this show's social media on Facebook. My Twitter is @MarkJonesAudio. Same for Instagram. Easiest way to find all of it, to find links to subscribe to the show, to find links to social media, is to go to bit.ly/Hoodoo Music Podcast. If that's too hard to remember, you can go to YOLO420.com/local band swag. Yeah. That is a real link. That is a real link, and it really works.
What if that's too hard?
YOLO420! That's great.
So don't forget to subscribe to the show, rate, review, comment, all that kind of stuff on iTunes. That's always really appreciated. And share this episode with your friends. Make sure people hear Wasted Wine. More people deserve, your friends deserve good music. They deserve it.
That's right.
And
mandatory.
These guys and lady, they deserve to be heard. They're making great music. So please make sure your friends check them out. And until next time, thank you for listening to the Hoodoo Music Podcast.
Hoodoo.
Lay down